Alright, so I got a bit of a different video for you all today. It's not a Yu-Gi-Oh video, but this is going to be more gameplay related. Well, not gameplay, but video game related. So, I ordered a few things off of GameStop, and I ordered 3 games. The first one was fine, but these 2 were not. So, what do I mean? So, I ordered these as new games, but they weren't quite new, although GameStop probably calls them new, and I'll get into that later. So, if you look at this, you may be wondering, it looks a little weird if you ordered any sort of new game, but I mean, this seems convincing enough. So, normally when you order a new game, it has a very tight shrink wrap, which this isn't a shrink wrap at all. This is exactly looks like it's a plastic sleeve, and it actually is a plastic sleeve. So that was the first red flag, and I wondered, do these have the shrink wrap? And the answer is no. So if we open into these, you can see that I already opened these, but just to show again, this looks very new, and it looks very nice, the condition of the overall game cartridge, you could say. Well, not cartridge, but the overall look of the actual, I guess, box. As you can see, the game is there and everything. Nothing's particularly wrong with it, and it looks very new, except for like this kind of, I guess, scuff mark a bit. I don't know if you can see it there. Try to get that in focus. It's kind of hard to see. Right there, like you can very vaguely see that little divot. So it's not new because it would have this shrink wrap on it, which it doesn't. The only thing it had is this plastic sleeve, and that's just not acceptable. And the same case is for this one. I've already checked it, but I guess just to show you, let's crack open this one. As you can see, it looks pretty much okay, except for that little scuff mark, ironically. The game is there and everything. It's a pretty nice box overall, but again, it doesn't have the shrink wrap, and that's my main issue. So I bought these for new pretty much, and they aren't new, although they could pass as new easily because they're in such good condition. But GameStop pretty much knows that, and I'll tell you why. Because about a decade ago, GameStop has been doing this thing where, and I spoke to basically an employee on the phone about this, where they basically open these new boxes and they basically put them out as pre-owned, and they're pretty much new. But also what I've heard GameStop has been doing from other videos and other people that I know is they pretty much open these cases and they take the game out and they basically put the case out as like this good, like this very nice looking case out for display, and that's basically what they do. And so basically, since they open these boxes, they're like, well, technically it's not new, but we're going to sell them as new. This is my opinion from what I've basically been concluding. I don't have any hard evidence as to this, except for I guess the only call I had with that one GameStop employee, because ironically enough, I was looking for a new copy of Xenoblade Chronicles, and they did just that. They opened a new copy of Xenoblade Chronicles, and they listed it as pre-owned. So that's a bit dishonest. And so that's basically the gist of it. And so they say, since these games look good enough in good enough condition, they basically list them as new, or they can list them as pre-owned as they want to. So they can flip-flop in between these two kind of conditions, and it's a very dishonest practice from my standpoint, and I guess a lot of people's standpoint. And it's really bothered me. So I'm going to have to look to return these items since it's not new, and it's not new in any case. And that's what bothered me, is technically when they're open from the shrink wrap, they're not new at all. When they're open from the shrink wrap, they're technically pre-owned or used in a capacity. Because when you open these, you can drop them, anything can get on them, and the shrink wrap is designed to protect them. That's why they have them on the case, and they don't remove them. That's why they're basically new. So when you remove them from the shrink wrap, they diminish in value and they can get damaged. And so when they send you this kind of product, when they send you a product that's not in the shrink wrap, they're being dishonest by calling it new. And so I guess in general, buyer beware. So when they send you something like this, when it's wrapped in this sort of, I guess, plastic sleeve, parents can unsuspectingly buy this and think they got a new game for their kid or whoever they buy the game for, and it's not really new. So this is how GameStop sort of gets like a dishonest jump on you. So in general, buyer beware and return it if you don't like it. And I would even encourage you to return it because it's a dishonest practice and it's absolutely scummy and it should not be permitted. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video, and I wanted to put out this video to kind of say this is a dishonest practice and it shouldn't be tolerated. And it personally bothers me, and I think it should bother more people. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Alright, take care.
If you would like to support more content like this, you can do so via donation on my Cash App. I need to resolve some issues with my Patreon, but I still post on there, and you can still catch my content on that same page. But for the meantime, you can help me out on Cash App by finding me at the Necromancer1040 Cash App tag. And with that, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Alright, take care.